have not landed on a way to start this video. Oh, vey. I've done it a couple times, and I can do it now. That's gonna be awesome. And ooh, what if I like no. I knew this. Nope, I think you can still see me. I've planned it out a bunch. I've planned this video out a lot. I think the hard part is because I don't feel every time I go to record it, it's not really delivered the way, being able to deliver it in the way that I think I want to. And I think that I'm really just in my head about it a lot. And so, since I know that part probably isn't going to go away, I should just throw everything at the wall until something sticks. So, maybe there isn't one right way to start this video. Maybe there's a bunch of right ways to start this video, and I won't be able, there's no way I can go wrong. But since I never really figured out how I wanted to open this video, I do know what I want to start with. I've written and rewritten a bunch of things down, and listening to music, hopefully, to kind of keep myself on track. I know it's been a long time. That sucks. I wish I was a time traveler for so many different reasons, but the main one, or one of the main ones, there isn't really a right way to open. As much as I've planned this out, it still feels like my head is like a beach ball at a Nickelback concert, and I can't exactly get it all down, like chronologically, or even say it chronologically. But I will try. One of the downsides of it being a long time is that I know a lot has happened. Not just from my end, just on multiple fronts, but I wanted to start with saying, I'm really sorry. I know that we owe it to ourselves to take time away when we need it and to listen to our bodies, and life is so many things, and messy is one of them, and I know that it's good to step away when you need to. However, I personally would have wished, if I could go back in time, I would have done some things a little differently. To reflect how much I care a lot better. And maybe I wasn't exactly able to at the time, but I am now, and I'm really sorry. Oh, this would be so much easier if I were less of an emotional person, and if I found it easier to share. And I know that there's levels to everything, and everyone finds their ideally finds their right amount. And by that I mean how much one is okay with sharing. But I think that not doing it to the point that I have resulted in a little bit of a slippery slope into a mental spot that I took some time to not necessarily get out of, but begin to. But I wanted to tell you that I'm really sorry for disappearing in the way that I did. If I could go back in time, I would do things a lot differently. And I don't think I'll ever be able to accurately, fully, successfully convey how much the messages I received mean to me. You guys are really, really awesome. So, not only did I want to apologize, but I wanted to say thank you. They helped way more than you'll ever know. I'm hoping to accomplish a couple things with this video. Beginning with apologizing and thanking you guys, but also to explain a little bit about what exactly happened and has been keeping me away. Again, I'm going to try to be as clear as I can, as some of you guys already probably know, though, at the time that the great hiatus began, I was dealing with a lot of migraines at the time. They had gotten pretty bad. You know, if I could just hook my brain up to a visual representation and just kind of be able to say everything that way, that'd be very cool. Because then I wouldn't be forgetting anything. It might be easier to understand that way. There's so many moving parts to everything that happened. So I'm actually going to kind of do this in a two video situation. This one I will kind of briefly go over everything that happened to an extent, and hopefully answer a few questions and create more. But another one I do plan on making that has all of the details, if not 98% of them, because there's a lot. There's so much. And some of you guys might know part of the story because some parts of it took place kind of before the hiatus, where... Okay, I'm gonna do my very best at this. And you think it wouldn't be that hard. It really shouldn't be that hard. I'm making it way harder than it needs to be. And that's unfortunate. Some of you guys might already know this, but I am no stranger to migraines, and I am used to experiencing a couple throughout the year, but I also have been dealing with a little bit of a dental situation for a very, 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 very long time now. But I went down to a clinic called Sani Dental Group in Las Algodones, Mexico, in hopes to rectify said dental situation, and didn't exactly work out. Some of you guys might remember, but during my season of streaming last time, I actually took a trip down to Sani, and it's that trip that's believed to kind of cause and exacerbate a little bit of my migraine situation. And I'll kind of explain that in the other video a lot better. But basically, due to the dental work that I had received during that trip, while I was during the time of when I was streaming, within a couple months to a year after that is when my migraines greatly increased. And after multiple doctor's visits to try to kind of figure out what to do, I was referred to an ear, nose, and throat specialist who advised that I receive a septum surgery. I was excited to find a solution that someone seemed so confident in versus kind of trial and error with migraines. It's not really a one-size-fits-all or like a cure-all medication or situation. There's also an injection route that isn't exactly feasible due to my insurance not exactly allowing that to be possible, which was the case for the surgery. And I mentioned it at the tail end of my last few streams, my goal, and I had tried a few things to be able to financially swing the surgery, including a failed raffle that I will absolutely make up to you guys. Unfortunately, after a while, I wasn't able to, it was clear that I wasn't able to make it happen. But then, something more than amazing happened. Aaron and Crystal Pettit are the big brains and even bigger hearts behind the YouTube channel Crazy Pieces. And if it weren't for them, I had to start and stop this a couple times. Because of Aaron and Crystal, I was able to get a quality of my life back. And I'm not quite sure how you repay somebody for that. How do you even, you can't, there's no way you could even put into words, because they would never ever be good enough. So I wanted to take a second to directly thank them from the very, very bottom of my heart. It is because of them that I was able to have that procedure. So to Aaron, Crystal, and family, I hope you know how much that meant to me. It gave me back a piece of my world, and I'm really, really grateful. Luckily, it is a surgery that does not require a lot of recovery, so I was planning on returning shortly after. However, have you guys heard that song from Chumbawamba? I get knocked down, but I get up again. I feel like I am the walking embodiment of said song. I say that because shortly after that, some of the dental work that I had done at that previous trip to Sani started to fail. Some things had broken, and I tried to see if I could get things fixed up here in the States because it didn't seem like too big of a fix. So I had made an appointment to kind of fix what had broken, in hopes to fix what had broken. And it was at this appointment I had also had x-rays taken. I was advised that due to how my dental implants had been placed, it was causing some the implants to carve out portions of my jaw. So I was advised, I was told I needed to stop chewing immediately until I was able to be seen and kind of rectify what was going on. And so I contacted Sani. I also got a second opinion up here in the States just to make sure, because I am in the Pacific Northwest, and to go down to Sani isn't exactly a quick trip, so, and one that would need to be planned. So I got a second opinion, confirmed the first, contacted Sani. Before I go any further though, and I will mention this in the other video, but it bears repeating, my beef is with Sani Dental Group and Sani Dental Group alone. I can't speak on Mexican dentistry as a whole, and so I would never want what happened to be used to fuel any kind of hatred or bigoted ideas, so I wanted to make that clear and put on the record. Long story short, I do end up going to Sani for a final time. And this time, my little brother, Brent, went with me. I feel so bad for everyone that ever comforted me, because they were all rough situations, and that will become clear, very clear, in the next video. But my little brother joined me this time, and some of you may know him. He's also known on parts of the internet as B Technician, and he streams now. And it's safe to say that this trip didn't exactly go to plan. Some stuff happened, but in short, 8-day trip turned into a 13-day one. I was told I needed to have a 2-hour procedure done that ended up being 4 hours. I do want to mention, if you have an aversion to dental, just anything dental or dental information, I feel like a trigger warning is appropriate. I think that the 4 hours would not have been so bad if the didn't wear off as soon as it did. I was given a lot of shots and they wore off very fast. I felt the majority of what had happened. I had 4 extractions, portions of my gums removed, a dental implant taken and replaced and moved over, 4 soft tissue grafts, the majority of my bottom teeth prepped for crowns, so shaved down quite extensively. At the end of it, I was given non-dissolvable stitches that unfortunately I still have the majority of. The materials that they had used to make what I have now are very, very big and bulky. I've learned how to not talk about this. I can still kind of hear it, but everybody else says they can't, so that's nice. Kind of picture a mouth guard on both your bottom, your lower and upper. Just it's very very large. Took kind of a minute to get to, and I still can't eat. Or still can't chew, rather. Sorry, I can eat. I just can't chew. So I'm still on a soft food diet. And it's been about 2 years on that. And that sucks. It was so painful. And it all would have been so worth it if it had worked out. But it didn't. And things went south pretty quickly. They have broken since my last and final trip. Luckily, I was able to find a dentist here to kind of help me MacGyver a little bit of a few parts. I'm aware it probably doesn't look as though it looked as bad as it did when I first initially came back. And I take full credit for that, thank you very much. In the next video I'll kind of go into it, but I have been kind of MacGyvering / making my own teeth for a long time now. Since I was probably 15. And so this time around, when things kind of went south, I had a little bit of an idea as to how to fix things. So when things fell out, I was able to kind of like glue and super glue them back together. After a while, things don't fit the way that they're supposed to, so I had to use a Dremel to kind of fit everything into place and make some things not as painful. Still painful. And I don't advise this to anyone. Please never do this. I feel like that goes without saying. And one day, I'm speaking this into existence. One day we're gonna live into a world where it's gonna be so easy to fix any and all dental ailment, no matter where you are at in this world. But for now, so the last trip was a little bit of a hit. I know that. Not in a good way, as in, that was awesome. I was kind of down and out a little bit after that last one. And I get why, but it still sucks. If I were to find one silver lining out of it though, I'm sure there's multiple. I could find them. Annie did not take away my sunny disposition. But a silver lining out of it though is it did allow me some time to work on some parts of myself that I needed to work out. I realized that if I wanted to do my part or lend any hand in the collective healing, I needed to process a few things. And I think I did, for the most part. So, despite everything that happened, I am grateful for that. Didn't go to plan, and it actually ended up worse than before, but it might not be okay right now. But I am. I know you're probably wondering what exactly is the plan now. And I have one. And I've been really, really fortunate to have people help me find out what exactly that plan might be. So for right now, the plan is to get back to life, meaning I think that I'm done with hiding away. I mentioned that I was hoping to accomplish a couple things with this video. And apart from apologizing and explaining a little bit as to what happened, there's something else I also wanted to use this video for, and that is to say I think that I'm ready to get back to my life, both personally and professionally. And revisit some dreams and goals that I had before I took a minute. But I wanted to use this video to officially say that I will be returning back to streaming very, very soon. And the details to everything will make their way to Discord and socials, but I wanted to make a video before all those details were ready to be announced, telling you guys how much I've missed you. I hope that you know how much you've added to my life, and all I wanted to do was the same for you. And I'm really sorry. A lot of my own stuff kept me from showing up in the way that I wanted to. But I think the silver lining would be that, albeit not in the greatest way, it got me to a place where I can now. So, I can't wait to see you. And I'm very excited. And despite everything that happened, I am grateful. And maybe I got here a little out of spite, but I am really grateful. This time away was many things. Difficult being one of them, if not the primary theme. Finding out how to rally turned out to be more of a process than I thought it would be. But one I think I'm better for having gone through. I want to make so many people proud, including my future 90-year-old self, and that starts with not giving up. For what it's worth, even after everything, I'm still hopeful. Remember, hope is a thing with feathers, that perches in the soul and sings a tune without the words and never stops at all. So, much like a butterfly turns into goo before it flies, good morning. And if I miss you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And I hope the moment your head is to pillow, you are out like a light.